Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
James Caan, a rugged Hollywood icon whose legacy endures. James Caan was one of American cinema's most dynamic and compelling actors, an artist whose blend of toughness, vulnerability, and emotional authenticity made him unforgettable on screen. Best known for his Oscar-nominated role as Sonny Corleone in The Godfather, 1972, Caan built a career that spanned more than 5 decades, earning admiration for his versatility, charisma, and unwavering dedication to his craft. Early life and rise to stardom. Born on March 26, 1940, in the Bronx, New York, James Edmund Caan grew up in a working-class Jewish family. After a brief flirtation with college football, he discovered acting and studied at the Neighborhood Playhouse School of the theater under the legendary Sanford Meisner. His raw energy and bold style quickly set him apart. Caan began landing television roles in the early 1960s before making his film breakthrough with The Rain People, 1969, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. His performance as a brain-damaged ex-football player displayed his natural ability to balance physical intensity with emotional depth. Breakthrough as Sonny Corleone. Caan's explosive portrayal of Sonny Corleone in The Godfather became one of the most iconic performances in film history. Fierce, passionate, and impulsive, Sonny was a character who demanded both power and heart, and Caan delivered both in abundance. His performance earned him an Academy Award nomination and cemented his position among Hollywood's most powerful actors. Even today, the tollbooth scene remains one of cinema's most shocking and memorable moments, showcasing Caan's command of physical acting and emotional expression. A versatile and powerful career throughout the 1970s and beyond, Caan proved he could do much more than play tough guys. His filmography showcases remarkable range. Misery, 1990, a gripping thriller where Caan played novelist Paul Sheldon opposite Kathy Bates. His restrained, nuanced performance anchored the film's tension. Brian's Song, 1971, a beloved TV movie where he portrayed football player Brian Piccolo. His heartfelt performance made the film an instant classic. Thief, 1981, directed by Michael Mann. This is often cited as one of Caan's greatest roles, a gritty, stylish portrait of a professional safecracker longing for a better life. Elf, 2003, demonstrating his comedic talent. Caan charmed audiences as Walter Hobbs in the modern holiday classic. For Caan, acting was never about fame, it was about truth, energy, and connection. His performances often felt lived in, shaped by instinct and a deep understanding of human complexity. Personal character and later work off-screen, Caan was known for his humor, warmth, and directness. His strong New York personality and sometimes rugged attitude only added to his legend. Even in the later stages of his career, he continued appearing in films and television, often choosing roles that offered depth and challenge. Caan passed away on July 6, 2022, at the age of 82, leaving behind an extraordinary legacy in American cinema. Legacy. James Caan remains one of the definitive faces of 20th-century American film, a performer whose presence could electrify a scene with just a look. From intense dramas to light-hearted comedies, his work continues to inspire new generations of actors and filmmakers. Whether as the fiery Sonny Corleone, the vulnerable Paul Sheldon, or the hardened thief Frank, Caan brought honesty and passion to every character. His career serves as a reminder of the power of bold, authentic storytelling, and the enduring impact of a truly great actor. James Caan, the intense, charismatic force who helped shape American cinema. James Caan was more than a Hollywood star, he was a force of nature. Across 5 decades of film and television, He built a reputation for intensity, authenticity, and an unmatched ability to bring flawed, deeply human characters to life. From the explosive Sonny Corleone to the vulnerable Paul Sheldon, Caan's performances left a permanent imprint on global cinema. His story is one of talent, perseverance, and a fierce dedication to the art of acting. Early life. A Bronx kid with big ambitions born on March 26, 1940, in the Bronx to German Jewish immigrants, James Edmund Caan grew up in a bustling, working-class environment. Athletic, confident, and restless, he initially pursued sports, particularly football, attending Michigan State University on scholarship. However, it was his discovery of acting that changed the course of his life. After transferring to Hofstra University and then enrolling at the prestigious Neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater in New York City, Caan trained under Sanford Meisner, one of the most influential acting teachers of the 20th century. This training shaped the emotional realism that would later define his performances. Breaking into Hollywood, Caan started his career on television, appearing in series such as The Untouchables, Dr. Kildare, and The Alfred Hitchcock Hour. His early film roles in Lady in a Cage, 1964, and Red Line 7000, 1965, showed hints of the magnetism that would soon make him famous. The real turning point arrived with Francis Ford Coppola's The Rain People, 1969. Caan's vulnerable, heartbreaking portrayal of a brain-damaged ex-athlete revealed dramatic depth and earned critical praise, bringing him into Coppola's inner circle. The Godfather, a landmark performance in 1972. James Caan delivered what would become the defining performance of his career, Santino, Sonny Corleone in The Godfather. Brutal yet loving, hot-headed yet loyal, Sonny was a character of contradictions, and Caan embodied every facet with electrifying intensity. His performance produced several iconic moments. The fiery meeting scenes showcasing Sonny's explosive temper, the emotional family moments that revealed his tenderness, the legendary tollbooth assassination sequence. Still one of the most powerful scenes in film history, Caan earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor and became a global star. Range and reinvention. In the 1970s and 1980s after The Godfather, Caan proved he was far more than a tough guy actor. He brought nuance and emotional depth to a diverse range of roles. Brian's Song, 1971, although released just before The Godfather, this TV film became essential to Caan's legacy. Playing real-life football player Brian Piccolo, Caan brought tenderness and vulnerability to a story of friendship and tragedy. The film remains one of the most beloved sports dramas ever made. Rollerball, 1975, in this dystopian sci-fi classic, he starred as Jonathan E., a champion athlete navigating a brutal future sport. The film became a cult classic and showcased Caan's physicality and emotional range. Thief, 1981, one of his most acclaimed performances, Caan played Frank, a master safecracker longing for a normal life. Michael Mann's stylish direction and Caan's raw intensity created one of the defining crime dramas of the era. Misery, 1990, in this Stephen King adaptation, Caan revived his career with a gripping performance as a kidnapped author. Opposite Kathy Bates, he delivered a restrained, agonizing portrayal that grounded the psychological horror. A renaissance in the 2000s, Caan embraced a new phase in his career with surprising roles. Elf, 2003, as Walter Hobbs, he brought humor and heart to the holiday classic. Las Vegas, 2003 to 2008. His starring role as casino boss Ed Delini introduced him to a new generation of television audiences. Appearances in films like The Yards, 2000, Dogville, 2003, and Get Smart, 2008, further demonstrated his versatility. Through these roles, Caan proved he could adapt to changing eras while maintaining the fierce spirit that defined his earlier work. A complex, charismatic personality off-screen, James Caan was known for his humor, blunt honesty, and sometimes unpredictable temperament. He often joked about his reputation as a tough guy, yet he was deeply respected by peers for his professionalism and loyalty. His friendships with actors like Robert Duvall and Al Pacino lasted decades. Caan's personal life included moments of struggle, including battles with depression and periods of stepping away from Hollywood. Yet he continually returned to what he loved most, acting. Later years and final legacy. Caan continued to work well into his 70s and 80s, bringing his signature energy to films and television projects. Even in smaller roles, he commanded attention, proof of the sheer presence he carried throughout his career. He passed away on July 6, 2022, at age 82, leaving behind a powerful cinematic legacy. Why James Caan matters. James Caan stands among the most influential actors of his generation. His work is celebrated for emotional honesty, physical intensity, charismatic screen presence, a willingness to portray flawed, complex characters. From gritty crime dramas to heartfelt emotional stories, he shaped an entire era of filmmaking. His characters felt real, unpredictable, human, and audiences connected with them on a profound level. James Caan's legacy lives on through his unforgettable performances and the impact he left on film history. He remains a true Hollywood original, fiery, bold, talented, and utterly unforgettable. James Caan, a deeper look into his craft, career evolution, and cultural influence. James Caan's impact on film goes far beyond a handful of iconic performances. He was part of a generation of actors who reshaped the language of American cinema, artists who blended old-school grit with a new emotional complexity. To understand Caan fully, one must look at his choices, his methodology, his personal highs and lows, and the social landscape in which his greatest work emerged. Craft and acting philosophy. A performer of instinct and feeling, many actors of Caan's era, Pacino, De Niro, Hoffman, became symbols of the method approach. Caan, however, had his own style. Trained by Sanford Meisner, he focused on spontaneity, truthfulness, and emotional immediacy. He once described acting not as pretending, but as responding honestly under imaginary circumstances. What set Caan apart? 1. Emotional courage. He wasn't afraid to show raw vulnerability, often hidden beneath layers of toughness. This duality made characters like Sonny Corleone and Frank from Thief feel painfully real. 2. Unpredictability. Directors often praised Caan for bringing surprising, organic choices to scenes, small gestures, unexpected line deliveries, or moments of reflective silence. 3. Physical presence. Standing 5 feet 9 inches but carrying himself like a heavyweight, Caan combined athleticism with emotional nuance. His body language was as expressive as his dialogue. 4. Humor and levity. Even in tense dramas, he slipped in humor, never forced, always natural. That charisma shaped many of his most memorable roles. Career challenges and turning points. Caan's journey was not linear. He faced periods of professional turbulence, personal struggle, and burnout. Post-Godfather pressure. After his monumental success as Sonny, Hollywood expected Caan to become one of its leading men. Instead, he chose roles based on depth, not commercial promise. Sometimes to his detriment. Projects like Slither, 1973, and The Gambler, 1974, were critically respected but not major box office hits. Struggles in the 1980s. The early 1980s marked a difficult period for Caan. The death of his beloved sister prompted him to step away from acting. He faced financial setbacks, depression, and professional uncertainty. Several projects underperformed, and he briefly disappeared from the mainstream spotlight. A resilient comeback, Michael Mann's Thief, 1981, reminded the industry of Caan's power, and Misery, 1990, marked a true return to form. His performance earned wide acclaim and reignited his career. Caan's collaborations with great directors throughout his career. Caan worked with some of the world's most influential filmmakers: Francis Ford Coppola, The Rain People, The Godfather Michael Mann, Thief Rob Reiner, Misery Dogville, Lars von Trier. A unique arthouse role that showed Caan's willingness to explore experimental cinema. Howard Hawks, one of Caan's early mentors and champions. These collaborations highlight Caan's range and his ability to thrive in diverse cinematic styles, from classical Hollywood storytelling to gritty realism and avant-garde experimentation. A closer look at key performances. The Gambler, 1974, regarded today as one of Caan's best roles, he portrayed Axel Fried, a literature professor spiraling into self-destruction through gambling. The performance is layered, introspective, and psychologically rich. Many critics believe it deserved an Oscar nomination. Honeymoon in Vegas, 1992. Caan's comedic flair shines in this light-hearted film, where he plays a charming yet morally questionable casino boss. It demonstrated his ability to pivot seamlessly between genres. Las Vegas, 2003-2008. As Ed Delaney, Caan anchored the series with authority, humor, and sincerity. For many younger viewers, this was their first introduction to him. Dogville, 2003. As the enigmatic, big man, Caan brought gravitas to a film famous for its bold theatricality. His final scene with Nicole Kidman is considered one of the film's emotional peaks. Influence on future generations. James Caan's legacy extends deeply into the acting world. 1. A model of controlled intensity. Actors like Benicio del Toro, Edward Norton, and Oscar Isaac have cited performers of Caan's generation as inspirations, especially for how they balanced intensity with emotional depth. 2. Collision of softness and strength. Caan demonstrated that tough characters could be loving, conflicted, or broken. This approach influenced modern portrayals of anti-heroes. 3. A blueprint for complex masculinity. Long before today's conversations about flawed men in cinema, Caan was already portraying masculinity with vulnerability, fragility, and internal struggle. 4. A symbol of the golden age of 1970s film, Caan stood proudly among an elite group of actors who reshaped American filmmaking and storytelling. Off-screen, humor, humanity, and contradictions. Caan was known for his quick wit, competitive spirit, and no-nonsense approach to life. He loved martial arts, horse riding, and sports. Those who worked with him often spoke of his loyalty, his sharp sense of humor, his constant search for truth in performances, his candor, which sometimes ruffled feathers but also earned respect. He was a man of contradictions, tough yet warm, outspoken yet private, wild yet deeply devoted to his children. The final years, a legacy that endures even late in life. Caan kept working, taking on roles that interested him rather than chasing fame. His final performances reflected maturity, wisdom, and a sense of calm that contrasted with his earlier explosive characters. His passing in 2022 prompted a wave of tributes from actors, directors, and fans around the world. Many highlighted not just his talent but his heart, loyalty, and unforgettable presence. Conclusion. Why James Caan remains unforgettable. James Caan's legacy is built on honesty, raw, unfiltered, powerful honesty. He wasn't an actor who played characters, he inhabited them. He brought humanity to gangsters, depth to tough guys, and dignity to ordinary individuals fighting inner battles. He embodied the soul of American cinema, bold, complex, emotional, uncompromising. James Caan did not simply act in movies, he helped define what modern acting could be. James Caan, a portrait of the actor as a cultural icon. James Caan was not merely a performer, he was a symbol. A symbol of a certain era of American filmmaking, a symbol of masculine complexity, and a symbol of the transformative power of talent honed through truth and instinct. To explore James Caan is to explore the evolution of the American male archetype, the transformation of Hollywood in the late 20th century, and the enduring appeal of characters who feel real because they are flawed. Here is an even deeper look into his life, his work, and the imprint he left on both cinema and culture. A study in contrasts, the actor behind the persona. Caan's appeal came from a tension between contradictions. Toughness and sensitivity, swagger and vulnerability, raw instinct and refined technique. On screen, he could erupt with volcanic force, but a moment later he could reveal a subtle, trembling intimacy. Off-screen, he had a playful bluntness that both charmed and astonished colleagues. He often said that performing wasn't about pretending, it was about reacting honestly. This simple philosophy formed the backbone of a career defined by emotional authenticity. The 1970s. The decade that made him a legend. The 1970s were not just a fertile era for Caan. They were the years in which he helped redefine the new Hollywood aesthetic. Alongside contemporaries like Pacino, Nicholson, Hackman, Hoffman, and De Niro, Caan brought a gritty, grounded realism to the screen. What made this decade crucial for Caan? 1. The new Hollywood wave. Directors were shifting away from polished studio films toward raw, character-driven storytelling. Caan thrived in this environment. 2. Anti-heroes as protagonists. Caan excelled in portraying flawed men contending with inner turmoil, perfect for an era questioning American identity. 3. Masculine complexity. Caan's characters embodied a changing view of manhood, strong yet breakable, confident yet conflicted. Behind the scenes. Legendary stories from the set. The Godfather, 1972, Caan was known for improvisation. The iconic moment where Sonny beats up Carlo in the street, much of it was spontaneous. Caan threw a trash can, kicked a hydrant, and delivered blows with a realism that shocked even the crew. He later joked, "I wasn't beating up Carlo, I was beating up the guy who annoyed me that morning." Thief, 1981, Caan worked closely with Michael Mann to perfect the mindset of a professional thief. He studied lockpicking, safecracking, and underground criminal codes. Mann later said Caan's performance set the tone for decades of crime films. Misery, 1990, in the film's most famous scene, Paul Sheldon being held captive, Caan remained completely still, letting his eyes and breathing carry the emotion. Kathy Bates said acting opposite him was like working with a coiled spring. The Caan persona, the face of real, flawed men. Caan's characters often shared certain psychological traits. A deep hunger for control, a fear of emotional vulnerability, a powerful sense of loyalty, a short fuse masking insecurity, a protective instinct for those they love. These traits resonated with audiences because they reflected real human struggles, particularly in men who felt torn between tenderness and aggression. His characters were not cleanly heroic or villainous. They were people caught in circumstances, reacting with instinct, emotion, and sometimes desperation. The father figure and mentor throughout his later years, Caan became known for helping younger actors on set. Despite his blunt humor, he was generous with guidance, offering lessons like, "Don't act. Behave. Don't play the emotion, play the circumstance. Never show the audience what you want. Let them guess." Actors who learned from him often said that these small lessons changed the way they approached their craft. Caan's relationship with stardom. Unlike many actors of his generation, Caan was never obsessed with fame. Fame, for him, was incidental, a byproduct of doing the work. He disliked the Hollywood machine, resisted typecasting, and refused roles that didn't feel honest. His refusal to play the Hollywood game led to both missed major opportunities and a deeper respect from filmmakers who valued artistic integrity. He often stated that he turned down roles because they didn't feel true. This stubbornness cost him commercial success at times, but it also preserved his artistic identity. Loss, resilience, and reinvention. The death of his sister Barbara had a profound effect on Caan, leading him to step away from acting in the early 1980s. He struggled with depression, financial problems, and a loss of purpose. Hollywood moved on quickly, but Caan eventually rose again, stronger, wiser, and more selective. His comeback demonstrated resilience that mirrored his characters. When knocked down, he got back up, with grit and attitude. Cultural legacy. What James Caan represents today. James Caan's influence remains visible in modern cinema, particularly in 1. Anti-hero storytelling. He helped popularize characters who are morally conflicted, emotionally damaged, and deeply human. 2. The wave of modern crime films. Directors like Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, and Nicholas Winding Refn cite Thief and similar films as foundational. 3. Evolving masculinity on screen. Before it became mainstream to show male vulnerability, Caan was already doing it. 4. The return of gritty realism. His performances helped move Hollywood away from polished heroes and toward authentic emotional storytelling. Caan's enduring appeal. James Caan resonates today for the same reasons he resonated 50 years ago. He felt real. He felt human. He portrayed men trying, and sometimes failing, to navigate the complexities of life. He gave everything to every role, whether in a blockbuster or a small independent film. His artistry wasn't showy. It was honest. And because it was honest, it endures. Conclusion. The legacy of a Hollywood giant. James Caan's journey through Hollywood was filled with peaks and valleys, triumphs and setbacks, moments of brilliance and moments of silence. Through it all, he remained true to one essential truth: acting, for him, was an exploration of the human heart. And he did it with ferocity, humor, vulnerability, and a presence that few performers have ever matched. James Caan didn't just appear in iconic films, he helped build the foundation of modern American cinema. His legacy lives on not only in the characters he embodied but in the countless performers he inspired and the audiences he moved. James Caan, a deeper exploration of the man, the myth, and the psychology behind his characters. James Caan's legacy cannot be fully captured through biography alone. His artistry is best understood by examining the psychological themes in his performances, the cultural moment he helped define, and the unique intensity he brought to every frame of film. Below is an even more layered exploration of Caan that goes beyond the typical profile, an attempt to understand why he was great, not just how he became great. The psychology of James Caan's characters. Caan frequently played men living on the edge, emotionally, morally, or psychologically. What made his characters compelling wasn't just their toughness but the emotional reality behind it. Here are the recurring psychological patterns in many of his roles. 1. The wounded protector. Caan's characters often carried emotional scars that fueled their protective instincts. Examples: Sonny Corleone protecting his siblings, Paul Sheldon safeguarding his identity as an author, Frank in Thief trying to build a future for a family he longs for. He mastered the tough exterior, fragile interior dynamic, portraying men shaped by hardship but striving toward connection. 2. The man at war with himself, Caan portrayed internal conflict brilliantly. His characters often battled impulses: anger, love, fear, loyalty, pride. In The Gambler, for example, the film becomes a psychological study of self-destruction, and Caan's portrayal of Axel Fried is a masterclass in quiet internal implosion. 3. The flawed hero in search of purpose. Many Caan characters are men trying to define their identity. Crime versus morality, success versus self-worth, control versus chaos. He brought authenticity to existential struggle, making each character feel deeply human. The Caan persona. Masculinity under a microscope. James Caan entered Hollywood during a time when American masculinity was being redefined. The old archetype of the stoic, silent tough guy was fading, replaced by emotionally complex, sometimes volatile men grappling with vulnerability. Caan became one of the faces of this transformation. What Caan represented: 1. Strength with emotional openness. His characters weren't afraid to feel, even if they tried to hide it. 2. Anger rooted in insecurity or loss. Caan made rage feel like a symptom of deeper emotional wounds. 3. Tenderness that surprised audiences. He could go from violent intensity to gentle affection within seconds, as in his scenes with his Godfather family. 4. Imperfect masculinity. Caan's characters were flawed, raw, human. They weren't stereotypes, they were people. This redefining of masculinity made his roles influential even decades later. 3. The craft of James Caan. A technical breakdown. Caan's acting technique wasn't just instinctive, it was crafted with precision, shaped by Meisner training and personal philosophy. Here's a deeper look at what made him exceptional. 1. Micro-expressive acting. He was a master of conveying emotion through small expressions. A subtle eyebrow raise, a slight jaw shift, a near-invisible tightening of the eyes. These micro-reactions gave his performances tremendous depth. 2. Controlled explosive energy. Few actors could escalate from calm to explosive as convincingly. His emotional eruptions never felt theatrical, they felt real. 3. Rhythm and pacing. Caan treated dialogue like music, speeding up to show anxiety, slowing down to show confidence or threat, pausing to create tension. 4. Physical acting. Every movement was purposeful. His walk, his posture, his hand gestures, how he held glasses, lit cigarettes, or sat in chairs. This physicality gave his characters an authenticity that can't be faked. The directors who understood his power. Some directors unlocked Caan's full potential by tapping into his intensity and emotional depth. Francis Ford Coppola. Coppola understood that Caan possessed raw power. He gave him space to improvise and explore Sonny's emotional range. Michael Mann's precision matched Caan's intensity. Thief remains a landmark performance because Mann allowed Caan to dive deeply into Frank's psychology. Rob Reiner with Misery. Reiner gave Caan a role that required restraint, a departure from his typical explosive performances, and Caan delivered with brilliance. Lars von Trier in Dogville. Von Trier used Caan's presence and authority to create one of the film's most chilling, powerful final moments. These collaborations show how versatile Caan truly was. Caan's professional reputation. Honest, loyal, intense behind the camera, Caan had a reputation that combined myth and reality. Honesty. Caan was known for being blunt, but respectfully so. He didn't sugarcoat things. Loyalty. He remained friends with Pacino, Duvall, and other colleagues for decades, often speaking highly of them in interviews. Intensity. He brought emotional fire to every set. Directors loved it. Producers sometimes feared it. Actors admired it. Sense of humor. Caan was hilariously self-deprecating, often making fun of his own tough guy image. Cultural impact. How James Caan shaped cinema. Caan's influence spans generations. 1. He helped define the modern anti-hero. His portraits of morally conflicted men paved the way for characters in Breaking Bad, Heat, The Sopranos, Drive 2. He helped humanize the gangster archetype. Without Sonny Corleone, the modern gangster film would look very different. 3. He inspired a generation of actors. Actors who cite him as an influence include Edward Norton, Oscar Isaac, Benicio del Toro, Michael Shannon. 4. He shaped the gritty realism aesthetic. Thief set visual and storytelling trends still used in modern crime film.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.